We are one of the finest in security and training, security and technology training. Okay, we provide a wide range of professional training programs, certifications, consulting services in IT and cybersecurity domain. Okay, so the specialty of us is it's a high quality technical services, certifications, and customized training programs. We provide customized training programs based on the needs of participants. Okay, with our professionals of over 15 years of experience. Okay. As you can see, these are our trusted clients, top in the world. To name a few, Tata, Ericsson, PepsiCo, ENY, NIT, NSE, and many of them. Now, why InfoSec trend? Okay, so we have, all our instructors are certified and experienced. Okay, we have flexible modes of training, meaning we have weekend batches, we have weekdays batches, we have one-to-one batches. Okay, we provide post-training support. If any of the participants has any queries, we ensure that his queries are answered. Tailor-made training. The most important, access to recorded sessions. Whatever we train, once the training is done, immediately the next day we provide the recording so the participants can go through the recording, and if any of the participants has missed the session, he can go to the recordings, he can come back and ask his queries. On the right hand side, as you can see, some of the global learning partners of InfoSec: Microsoft, CompTIA, IB, ISACA, PCB, and EC Council. Okay, so this was all about InfoSec training. Now let's start actually a CISA exam strategies, okay, and practice questions. So CISA stands for Certified Information Systems Auditor. We'll start, this will be the 8-point agenda. CISA certification overview. Second, importance and benefits of certification. CISA exam structure. Effective CISA exam preparation strategy. Okay, tackling how we tackle CISA practice questions, common CISA questions and how to approach them, and finally tips for identifying correct answers. So let's start, friends. Okay, so first we'll start with CISA certification overview. Okay, and also we are going to cover last minute preparations before actual final exam. Fine. So we'll go through CISA certification overview. Uh, CISA certification basically indicates your expertise in following work-related domains. Okay, there are 5 domains in CISA certification. Domain 1, information system auditing process. Domain 2, governance and management of IT. Domain 3, information systems acquisition, development and implementation. Domain 4, information systems operation and business resilience. And finally, domain 5, a protection of information assets. Now let me tell you how each of the domain is relevant to auditing and what is the domain weightage for each domain. Okay, domain 1, basically it affirms credibility to offer conclusions on the state organization of information system, IT security, risk and control solutions. Domain 2, governance, confirms to stakeholders the abilities to identify critical issues and recommend the best possible measures, controls, or safeguard to be taken. Domain 3 and domain 4, it's a bit a technical part. So it is a proof of not only of the IS auditor's competency in IT controls, but also the understanding how IT relates to business. This point is very important. IT has to be always aligned with business. And finally, the fifth domain is into a protection of information assets. So mainly cybersecurity, understanding its principles, best practices, drawbacks is a major focus of this domain. Now let me tell you the column 3, which is domain weightage. Each of CISA domain has weightage. Weightage meaning out of total questions, how many questions will be asked from this particular each domain. So domain 1 weightage is around 18%, approximate 27 questions. Domain 2, 18%, 27 questions. Domain 3, 12%. Major chunk is domain 4 and domain 5, which is 26% each, 39 questions. Now a question might come to all of your minds, Khalid, shall I go to focus more on domain 4 and domain 5 because it has a major chunk, which is around 78 questions out of 150. Okay, so it's not like that. Let me tell you one thing very clearly. Please stay focused, and it's very important. Each of this domain is equally important. All five domains are equally important in terms of conceptual understanding. Domain one is the one which actually makes your mindset as an auditor very critical. Domain two about governance, meaning a set of rules and monitoring. Domain three is information systems. So if you think like, okay, let I will focus on domain 4 and 5 because it has a major chunk, no, that strategy is not correct. Each domain is important, critical in terms of conceptual understanding. This was about CISA certification overview. In the next slide, we are going to see importance and benefits of CISA certification. Okay, this acknowledged worldwide as a standard of excellence in information systems auditing. This is a worldwide certification, showcases your expertise and asserts your ability to apply a risk-based approach to audit engagements. Now, what is a risk-based approach, guys? So this is nothing. A risk-based approach is nothing but a process of prioritizing audit activities based on potential impact and likelihood. Okay, this is I'm talking about the risk-based audit approach. Each audit has to be risk-based. So CISA certification focuses on risk-based approach. So what is the benefit of risk-based approach? So this approach helps to ensure that audit resources are focused on the areas of high risk. Third, demonstrates the dedication and credibility in the audit profession, opens opportunities for higher roles, better jobs, and increased pay, definitely, since this is a worldwide known certification, equips you with up-to-date expertise in IS auditing, control, and security. Now, up-to-date expertise, it's CISA has introduced a new exam content outline starting from August 1st this year, which has added some new topics considering the latest technology, AI, machine learning, and other topics in domain 4 and 5. Control meaning the safeguard measures. CISA ensures IT audit professionals stay current on the latest technology trends and advancement. Yes, as an auditor, we have to stay in touch with the latest technology. Fine. So this was all about importance and benefits of CISA certification. Uh, Everyone definitely will be interested in the next slide. What is a CISA exam structure? Let us go to that. Okay. So CISA exam in total it has 155 multiple choice questions. Okay, it contains body of questions and four answer choices in which you have to choose one best option. I repeat, out of four options A, B, C, and D, you have to choose one best option. Let's say A is the best option, but it might be B, C, and D, but you have to select the best option. Questions are application oriented. Please have a focus on this. What does it mean? Even though, as we saw, domain 4 and domain 5, it has technical concepts, okay, but as an auditor, you are not required to know in-depth technical knowledge, or you need not to have in-depth technical knowledge of infrastructure or firewall, how it works, how it is configured. You need to know very high level understanding overall of five domains. Okay, so we have to apply it basically test your application of knowledge what you have learned throughout the five domains. Total time available for this exam is 4 hours, okay, which is approximately 240 minutes. You might ask, Khalid, is it time sufficient? Definitely, yes, it is sufficient. The practice makes you, perfect if you practice all the questions of each domain. Okay, don't ever think that if I have 150 questions and I have to answer them in 240 minutes, which carries 1.6 minutes for each question to be answered. No, it is not like that. By the practice, this time available time slot is sufficient including your breaks, to attempt all 150 questions. Okay. So in the next slide, we are going to see what are the effective CISA exam preparation strategies. Okay. The first point, team, please focus. It's very, very, very critical. Okay. This exam is not like, okay, you study the chapters, you read it, you do self study, you go attempt. No. The very important criteria, which I say is the most critical, is you have to set your mindset, which means curious as an auditor. Think like an auditor. It's not like you are analysis, you are compliance implementer. In each aspect throughout the five domains, you have to think like an auditor, where auditors had when you answer each question. Second point, deliberately I have highlighted conceptual understanding, in a large font in red. There is a reason for it, friends. This word, keep in your mind. You have to understand all the five domains conceptually. Although each domain has certain weightage in terms of percent, 18%, 18% for domain 2, I believe 12% for domain 3, 26% and 26%. That doesn't mean you should directly jump on domain 4 and domain 5. No, each domain is related, okay, somehow. For example, a question is from domain 5. A question is from domain 5, which is information security related domain. It will check your understanding of information system auditing process, which is domain 1. So indirectly it is pointing to your mindset, how you think like an auditor. Are your concepts cleared? This exam tests your conceptual understanding. First 2 points are very critical in terms of exam preparation. Please focus on that points. Okay. Third point, set a plan from day one of joining the course towards passing the CISA exam. This is very important. You cannot prepare a plan. Let's say I started the course on 1st September, and I have another 6 months. Okay, I can clear it. Yes, definitely you can clear it. There are two very important things towards the CISA exam. Number one, commitment. Number two, consistency. Very, very important. Everyone has commitment. Great. Do we have consistency? That is very important. If I say I will start CISA from 1st of September, okay, very good, I'm committed. But I should have the consistency of completing that exam within 90 days from the date I start the course. Okay, which is what I've stated in this point. It is highly recommended CISA exam targeted should not exceed 90 days from the joining course. Friends, there is a reason for this. Once you start the course, there is a lot of discussions during the training. Your concepts are fresh. So after you finish the course, you have to plan for each and every single day to appear for the exam. If you start the course on 1st of September, your target should not exceed 30th of November. Okay. So, and in this case, you should have a plan for each and every single day. Practice mock test. In the mock test, we can call it as a simulation test. Your target should be 85% and above, or minimum 85%. If you practice 4 to 5 mock tests and your target score is 85%, 85%, okay, and above, okay, then it's good to go for the exam. But again, practicing mock test is not, just reading the question, answering it. Once you finish the mock test, go back, check the answer, attempt the same. No. Understand your weak areas. Analyze where are you weak. Okay, this is what the next point. Analyze the weak areas and revisit the topics that require more clarification. You have to understand, you have to accept your weak areas in which domain. That is perfectly fine. Once you identify the weak areas, you understand where you are weak, it's as if you are good to go for the exam. So these are some very important critical exam preparation strategies. In the next slide, we are going to see tackling CISA practice questions. Okay. Wherever highlighted the font by in bold and in red, please focus on it. Read questions carefully, word by word. What do I mean by that? Okay. The question is very short, objective type. Okay. What is the best option for an information system auditor in the following cases? A, B, C, D. Don't go by the nature of question. It's very short and just reach to the conclusion. Read word by word of the question. Understand what the question is asking. Second point, identify the keywords. Okay. We'll in the next slide we'll see what are the keywords. Okay. Uh, this is a very important tip. Okay. Identify the keywords. Answers for some questions might depend on the tense, past, present, and future. What do I mean by that, friends? Let's say the question is, which of the following is the best option in existing conditions for an information system to choose in existing conditions? The same question, if I change, which of the following could have been the best option? This is talking about past sense. Which of the following could be the best option for an information system auditor? So there is one keyword which anyone can identify, but along with that keyword, there is a very important word that is linked to the keyword, and that will decide your answer. What do I mean by that? It's you can say English game. It's we have to understand the tense in some questions, whether it's asking about past, present, or future. Very important. Focus more on concepts while answering. This exam, it's not like okay, there is a technical question, you have the straight answer if you have technical understanding. Okay, if your concepts are clear for all the 5 domains, believe me, you are going to select the best option. So you have to focus more on concepts while answering. Use elimination technique wherever possible. What do I mean by elimination technique? Some of you might have appeared for the exams, any online exams. There are 4 options: A, B, C, D. Okay. Now, by the practice, by reading the question, 2 options should come to your mind in some cases. Let's say A is not the option, B is not the option. Okay. Now C maybe, D has a strong possibility. C, you will give 30% weightage to select 70%, applying all your concepts. So in that case, you eliminated A, you eliminated B, C has less weightage, D is the best, select B. Apply your thought process, apply logical thinking, very important. This point, okay, remain within the boundary of questions. Do not overthink. What do I mean? I would like to spend 2 minutes here, friends. We all have practical experience. Some of you might have experience in auditing, but in real life, I mean, in real professional life, our work experience, there might be scenarios we manage things. What do I mean by that? Apply some work around that might not be the best practice as per the ISACA, as per the CISA requires. Okay, so you have to judge, you have to see overall part and stay within the boundary of question. Do not overthink, means do not assume. Just stay within the boundary of question to answer. These 5 tips are very important. Please bear in mind when you appear for before you appear for CISA exam. In the next slide, we are going to see common question types and how to approach them. Okay. Identify key phrases in each question. Like most of the questions will have this keyword most, best, first, primary, etc. before selecting and recording the answer. So in the question, if as I gave you an example, which of the following is the most suitable option for an IS auditor? Anyone can identify this word, but what important part here is, along with these keywords, there will be some word like which of the following is the most important option for an IS auditor in existing conditions? So this is talking about present. Now the same word, if I change the same word, if I change by, let's say the word, which of the following is the most important option for an IS auditor considering or could be or in considering previous year audits. So here I'm changing the tense. Okay. The keyword is most, that is fine, but you also have to understand which is another word that you can link with this keyword to select the best option. This is I'm talking about, it could be past, present, future, or another keyword that will decide and that will help you to choose the best option. Now most is the one which is important in around among all the four options A, B, and C. Best is best among A, B, C, and D. A also could be maybe, C maybe, D is irrelevant to divert your mind, but so C is the best. First, primary, next, this type of keywords, they talk about sequence. As I told you, read each question carefully, word by word, meaning don't jump directly to the answer. Some questions might be very, to see might be very simple. Which of the following is the most important option for an IS auditor in case of risk-based audit planning? Here the keyword is most, but again another word is I highlighted is risk-based. So this you can link it to the keyword most and decide the best answer. So read word, each question word by word. Eliminate known incorrect answer and finally make the best choice possible. Okay. You should not look, for correctness in every case. That is, do not overthink. Answer all questions. Don't, leave any question unanswered. There are no negative markings. I repeat, answer all questions. There are no negative markings. Only correct answers are graded. If you unanswer any question, if you did not select, so that is considered as incorrect. Answer it. Try, apply your logical thinking, apply your concepts. Okay. And even if you are not sure which is the right answer, but if you answer it based on your experience, logical thinking, a bit of common sense, okay, and out of C and D, if you answer C, still there are chances of your answer being 50% correct rather than leaving it unanswered. Concepts on each slide. This is very important. Okay, you cannot memorize, anything in CISA exam. There are a few things you memorize, but there is conceptual understanding for that part also. Okay, focus on concepts while you answer questions. Read the questions word by word and identify the keywords along with the tense. See, most of the questions will have another word that will decide the correct answer. It's not that they will easily give you most. You only think or, next, or greatest, primary. Okay. They will not just easily give you this word and you can select the answer. If you go only by this word and if you did not read word by word, I will tell you where is the problem, where could be the problem. If you just go by the only the keyword and select answer, you might be thinking, oh, this question is very easy, the answer has to be B. A, B, C, D. You will say this question is very easy. Answer has to be B. If you did not read word by word, there is one word linked to this question which will decide the answer. And in that case, the most suitable answer is A. They will trick you. They will test your, conceptual understanding. Understood? Use elimination technique wherever applicable while choosing the answer. Okay. Now it's not that each and every 150 questions you can use elimination technique. No. In case you might come across a question which is very tricky, be patient. Select two answers. Okay, which are very near. Okay. Eliminate the other two options, and out of that two options, if you have selected, let's say, this and this, give weightage. Okay, apply your conceptual understanding, logical thinking, common sense, and select the best possible answer. If this is 30% and if your thought process is this has to be 70%, select this. At least you are answering, attempting the question, and there is a chance of this question is right. Okay, rather than leaving it unanswered. Okay, very important point. Map the answers to question to ensure the exact expectation from the question towards choosing the correct answer. In case there might be a very tricky question and at the same time you feel it's very easy, no, read the answers carefully and map the answers to the question. Make sure this is what expected. Okay, this all tips will help you to choose the best possible option. Very important. In the next slide I will show you some last minute preparation tips. Okay, in the initial slide I showed you planning. We talked about planning. Plan from day one, right? And it has to be monitored, that plan. Day one, you have planned to, okay, go through domain one, go to practice questions of domain one, then domain two, practice questions of domain two, and so on. Domain three, four, and five. Go through key exam pointers. There is one study guide which InfoSec Training provides, a very well-known author called Himang Doshi. If your concepts are clear, that guide you can say it as a very good guide for as a revision. And after every section in that guide you have something called as key exam perspectives. That is very, very, very critical. Go through the key exam perspectives. Ask yourself, are you able to understand this conceptually? Yes, no. Very important, go through the learning objectives supporting tasks for all domains. Now this point, third point, if you go in ISACA website, under the 5 domains which you have, there is also something called as supporting task, or you can call it as a learning objectives. There are around 36 okay objectives. They are listed in ISACA. Once you finish your conceptual understanding of all the domains, domain 1, domain 2, 3, 4, and 5, go through these 36 learning objectives or supporting tasks. By each task, okay, you ask yourself whether you are able to understand this task as an auditor, whether you are able to perform this task practically. Yes, then your concepts are clear. If not, go back to the concepts, understand why. All the questions revolve around these 36 objectives or supporting tasks. Okay, friends. In the next slide, I will take you through, the variation in CISA 2019 versus CISA 2024. Okay. There are 4 columns you can see. Here is a domains. Okay, CISA domains. In the CISA manual, they call it as a chapter. Okay, CRM stands for CISA Review Manual. 2019 ECO. ECO is exam content outline, and 2024. Domain 1 information system auditing process. The weightage for in 2019 was 21%. In 2024, from August 1 this year, they have reduced it to 18%. That doesn't mean that the importance is reduced. No, there is some reason. Okay, each and every domain is equally important. I repeat, each and every domain is equally important in terms of conceptual understanding. So in domain 1 the variation is minus 3%. Domain 2, governance and management of IT. 2019 the weightage was 17%. Now it's 18%, though increase of plus 1. What is governance? Is a set of rules monitoring. Domain 3, information systems acquisition, development and implementation, no change. Domain 4, information systems operations and business resilience. Okay, business resilience is your ability to withstand a disaster. Okay, prior in 2019 it was the weightage was 23%. Now it's 26%, so increase of plus 3%. Domain 5, protection of information assets. 2019 the weightage, the exam content outline weightage was 27%. Now it's 26%. Variation is minus 1%. Now a question comes to your mind: what's the importance of this? Okay, here they reduced it, in domain 1. Does it mean they are going to, they gave less value? No. If you see the overall variation is somewhere around between 1.5 to 2% only. Okay, the importance is you have to understand this domain very well. This all domains, your concept should be very sound. Domain 1, this is the one which will make your mindset as an auditor, which is very important to answer the questions, to select the best possible answers. Okay, I'll give you an example. Domain 5, it is talking about protection of information assets. Okay, now you might think it is 26%. Oh, there are around 39 questions. Okay, let me jump and let me just quickly review 1, 2, 3, and I will focus more on 39 questions and 39, which becomes 78. No, that is a wrong approach, incorrect approach. When you appear for the exam, it will not be able to, the questions will not be in sequence. Definitely you'll not be able to easily identify which question is from which domain. Not to worry, friends. Here your conceptual understanding comes. I'll give a live example. I am here, domain 5. Okay, which of the following action items is greatest concern to an information system auditor in terms of sensitivity of the information? Okay, it is asking about the greatest concern for an information system auditor in terms of sensitivity of information. Fine, the question is from domain 5, but it is pointing to your conceptual understanding of domain 4. Which of the following options is most important in terms of integrity? Okay, the question is from domain 5, but it is again pointing to domain 2, domain 1, your conceptual understanding. It's not straightforward that you will jump to domain 4 and domain 5 and target for 78 questions. That is not the right approach. Each domain is interlinked. Clear. So each domain is equally important in terms of conceptual understanding. Please bear this thing in mind.